That's kind of a dirge, isn't it? That's the kind of thing that Lent seems to be known for. Lent. The season of Lent. We're about a week into the church season of Lent. And for those of you who may not be in the church, Lent is the 40-day period leading up to Easter. It carries with it a reputation of being down, because you hear about people giving up stuff and having to suffer through it, or, talking about our own sins or trying to find where we're really falling short. And it just seems to be a time that you don't think anyone would really want to spend a lot of time in. I mean, just look outside today. If you can see, it's snowing, and here it is in March. And for some people, that just seems to be more of the same stuff they want to get away from. They must not be from the Maritimes, because we all know it snows a lot. Lent, rather than being this kind of really down kind of time of year, or this time when we spend a lot of times with negative stuff, there's another way to see it. And you could see it as kind of a means of self-examination, which sounds like a funny term, but a way of looking at yourself to try and see how we can be better. So you could think of it as a means to an end of becoming a better person. Now, we all know that there's things that we could do differently that would leave us in a better position and would leave the people around us better off. We all make decisions that we wish we had made differently. We've all done things that we wish we hadn't done, or hadn't done things we wish we should have done. We know there are things that could be different in our lives. But rather than try and change ourselves and make ourselves better, Christian people know that that's not within them to be able to do, that they need the help of God for that. And so that's where Lent becomes an important time of not only self-examination, but holding these shortcomings up before God to say, look, I'm sorry I don't do this well. Can you help me do better? I know I'm not great at this, and I'm not as good for other people as I could be. Can you help me to be better for them? That's the kind of prayers that are going to bear good fruit in the world. That's the kind of things that are going to change little parts of the world here and there. It's a humble thing to do, to say, I need help. It's a brave thing to do, to ask for help. How often do you have friends or accomplices in whatever things you're up to, or acquaintances, that's the word, come to you and say, I need some help with this part of my own being? It doesn't happen much. In fact, a lot of the times, even within the church, people are somehow reluctant to talk too much about their own shortcomings, or maybe even the shortcomings of their own church. No church, no denomination is perfect. We don't use our resources exactly the way God wants, I'm sure, but we're trying. And the only way to get better, if we can't do it by ourselves, which I've already suggested we can't, is to seek the help of God in that. So if Lent gives us a chance to dig into ourselves and to find out these things that we know we need to do better, to recognize them and name them, that's important, and then ask God for help with them, that's what can make things better for us. So I hope that this time of Lent can be good for everybody who tries to do that, whether it be the church as a whole congregation or a whole group, or maybe even just individual people. Every time we do something better, the world is a little bit better around us. And when lots of people everywhere are doing it, then the world's becoming better all the way around. We're just 1 week into Lent. There's lots of time to go, but I hope you find it to be an encouraging time, and perhaps a time of opportunity rather than being in the doldrums all the time. There's a lot more to be had when you have a goal in mind, and that goal is to be better for other people. So, a blessed Lent to you all.